It is Tuesday, and you know what that means. It's time for Pop-Off Politics. Oh, I like this. I think we got a new graphic here.
We've had it.
We've had it?
You haven't noticed.
No, come on. I
Keep
notice
on going.
everything.
Keep on going.
This is the segment where we tell you how elected officials plan to spend your hard-earned money. It's a busy week in Houston. Some city council members are wrapping up their last few weeks in office. Of course, the end of Mayor Sylvester Turner's administration is also coming to an end. KPRC2 Investigates. Mario Diaz is back at the table with me this morning. I'm telling you, I would have noticed these colors. Well, how old is this?
You're not coming to the investigative
Sam.
side. You're not coming to the investigative.
I am the most observant person you'll ever.
You missed that one, buddy.
No.
Anthony's seen it.
To be fair, I've been off. This is my first one.
Get to the segment. Let's go.
I don't believe
Get to the segment.
Anyway, okay, this guy, the investigator of all time, is here now. He apparently caught something that he has to tell us about.
We did. I mean, we're just like Martin Maldonado, right?
Right.
They're right there for the Astros. Boom. Fire at the second base. You nail the
Boom.
run. You get him before he gets
goes.
there. This was the agenda. That's what happened this week.
Okay, tell us.
Because we fired a strike to second base and we got the out because here's what we did. This is an agenda item that was set for tomorrow, but it was pulled. Okay?
Which is different than tagged.
Right. It means it ain't happening.
Right. Gone.
The removal, we were told, coming just a couple of hours after we started asking the questions. And sure enough, on the city site, bam, it says pulled. And this is when City Hall released the agenda for this last Friday. This item was slugged as agenda item number 44. And you know where the Houston Post is, right?
Yes, the old post office.
Yeah,
Washington.
I should say the Post Houston.
Right south of 10, yeah.
The Post Houston. The Houston Post used to be the old newspaper in town.
Oh.
It was the Chronicle of the Houston Post.
Yeah.
This is the Post Houston. So it's that food hall that they have on the north side of. Well, it involves this food hall, this agenda item. Okay, let's get right to this agenda item because it's the old Barbara Jordan Post Office. It's on 16 acres of land, and the mayor's focus here is to build a new convention center building and hotel.
Interesting.
The recommendation here coming straight from the mayor's top city economic director. That man is named Andy Icken. We've showcased him in a few investigations in the past. Here is the plan they are attempting to get through. It calls for between 90 to 200 rooms in one unit with a 21,000 square foot convention center inside the hotel. 21,000 square feet. No, it's not.
21,000?
It's when you think about the George R. Brown being a convention center.
That's true.
They have 1 million.
No, I see. That's perspective. That's good perspective.
This is very small.
So, wait, listen. What are people saying to you after they were made aware of this whole thing?
It passed the smell test, okay? It just did not pass the smell test. And like I said, once we started asking these questions, okay, less than 24 hours ago, specific questions to the mayor's office. Who is the developer? Why were they not listed? Was there a request for proposal? Meaning, did the city put out a bid for this to let everybody fairly put a bid in on this? And the other thing is, are there incentives tied to the involvement here of this convention space? Because you're calling it a convention center. How many public dollars are being used? These are all relevant questions because it's information that is not listed
within the documents
of the city. And this is the information that's passed on to city council members. These are basic things to give city council members a very, very solid understanding of exactly what they are voting on with your dollars.
And then when you think about other hotels being built downtown, there are several, right?
Well, in the blueprint stages, yes, they've been approved, okay? Yeah. There's two right now. The first is Jim Crane's project. That's why we had the Martin Maldonado.
Right.
Right? Right? The reference there, because that's going to go right beside Minute Maid, between Minute Maid.
Down by the ballpark.
And the hill, there's a piece of empty land right behind home plate there if you're outside the stadium. So that's one property that's already been earmarked, okay? The second one is a W Hotel. This was passed a long time ago. It's a well-known brand that everybody knows.
Well-known brand.
Okay. It was passed back in 2018, I believe it was. 2019, around there. You have some of the video from the actual.
Before the pandemic.
This is before the pandemic. Yeah. Perfect. That's when it was announced. And it's still planned to go right there as well. Huge hotel. So this would be the third.
Where's that one?
That's going to be right above the Houston First Tower, which is the parking garage, which is right beside Jim Crane's new project. So I did speak with the developer on the W project, Al Kashani, yesterday. He tells me, quote, we have our financing in place. We have everything lined up. We are just waiting for Houston First approval.
So why are these projects relevant to what it is that you are asking about when it comes to these
Real
things?
simple here. It's very simple. And they have other hotel projects in the pipeline that they've announced with a lot of fanfare. But they have struggled to get the shovels into the ground for some of these. So if we didn't start asking questions yesterday on this new hotel project that they're asking Houston First to help, coordinate, and exactly how much money is being flown into this project
During the 11th hour.
During the 11th hour
stages,
of the administration and city council, well then this might have gone through.
Yeah.
But then what happened? They pulled it. Yeah. And by the way, the mayor's office never got back to me with the answers to those specific questions.
And we know he will be following up. Folks, this is just one agenda item. Mario has come to the table with a second one for the day. Be careful, you're going to snap this table.
I'm exhausted this morning because, okay, here we go with the second one. You ready?
Yes.
It's agenda item 27. It involves the Houston airport system.
Oh my goodness, we're back here.
We're landing again.
Yeah, okay.
This is an ordinance focusing on approving and authorizing a memorandum agreement involving United Airlines and the city of Houston for a Terminal B redevelopment project. Zach, it's valued at nearly $2.6 billion.
Oh my goodness. I feel like we've had so many of these, pertaining to the airport systems. I didn't hear that number though. I want to go back to that amount.
$2.6 billion.
With a B.
With a B.
With a B. Okay. Well, I know you've been on the airports for its construction now for years. KPRC2 investigates exposing hundreds of millions of extra dollars spent on the new international terminal. This is something that we've talked about several times during Pop-Off Politics.
So let's go real fast through this. 2014, City of Houston passes this new ITRIP, International Terminal Redevelopment Project in the Mickey Leland Terminal, right?
Yeah.
That was supposed to be between $700 and $900 million. Mayor Turner comes into office in 2016. I don't like it. So what does he do? Rips it all up. I don't like it. He rips it all up. Okay? So then they come up with a new plan, and that plan suddenly runs at about $1.3 billion.
Oh my goodness.
Then it goes to $1.7 billion. Mayor Turner goes, I don't like this. He says they got it back down to $1.2 billion. Okay? So that project today stands at just over $1.43 billion.
Still over the 1.2.
Right. So that's what you have on that project.
Oh my goodness.
Then you have this new project, and this is going to be obviously the Terminal B that they're talking about with United Airlines. That's going to be, again, $2.4 billion.
Yeah.
Okay. So you have questions about this whole situation here. And we're not the only ones asking. You had the city controller, if we come back on camera, he actually shows this off to the city council, and these are all the questions about the final design plans, and the financial terms have not really been reviewed by the city council committee. The project is partially designed. There's a whole list of questions that Controller Chris Brown had about this. So again, $4.5 billion.
I was just going to ask, how much in total?
$4.5 billion that we're looking at right now between ITRIP, this new project that they're talking about, as well as, which is at $2.6 billion, as well as, don't forget, you got about $450 million that's going into a new.
So millions.
At Hobby.
In blueprints.
Yeah, millions in blueprints. You're right.
More. Because on top of these billions, more in millions.
Because you have to remember that during ITRIP, okay, the ITRIP, that's the International Terminal, they spent $80 million. Most of that was on blueprints, and they still weren't done. And they had ripped up the new blueprints. Like, I'm going to start all over again.
Okay. Wild. Well, I'm so glad you're here. I'm glad you did not break the table. I am going to look into when this changed, because I am going to be part of this I-team, and I'm going to tell you when these graphics changed. Because I was off. I've been off on vacation for a few weeks, and I think this happened when I was gone. I'm going to get to the bottom of it.
Yanez, does that excuse sound like a fair one?
October 2nd. Nah. What? Anthony doesn't.
Well, let me tell you something.
He's not part of this conversation.
Well, the idea of the graphic, which I love.
Sam's saying October 2nd.
Yeah, there you go. Thank you, Sam. Jason Wynn, our crack producer, helped coordinate all this. So you can just verify with him. But I'm telling you, it's right there. We've done it. And you know what? I'm going to tell you something.
What?
We're going to pull you. We're going to pull you if you can't figure this stuff out. We're going to pull you like, we're going to pull you like the agenda item we got.
But you know what? I'm actually trying to think of what it looked like previously, and I can't remember. But I just remember the color scheme.
It had gray.
Gray and black?
Yeah, it looked like the slippery one wet from Bon Jovi.
Yes, it does, yes.
There you go.
There you go. Okay, his name, needs no introduction. Mario Diaz, Pop-Off Politics, happening every Tuesday right here on KPRC2+. If you have a question, a concern, you want to reach him, Mario? MDS. MDS at KPRC.com. Okay, so Sam is confirming it was the second week of October. I still, though, need to see it for my own eyes. I'm going to go back, do my own research, and I will report back to you.
It comes with age, Zach.
I know,
Get used to it.
I know.